We've done basically nothing there. I think we grabbed Shadow and hit the save point last time. No. Somebody recommended, I think I've had someone in chat mention that game, as well as, what the hell is it called? There's another game that I think is like for Wii U. It's like a downloadable title that's intended to be like Earthbound. Champions of the Earth or something like that. I don't have a lot of magic in this party, so you're gonna have to be careful. Stick with Water Harmony though, that's really good to keep the party healed up for free. Way to go, Mog. Face planting over there. These aren't the super dangerous enemies, I think it's the ninjas we have to worry about. Oh wow, that's high praise, like, let me add it to my list. Got a Reddit post that's like a list of good games that I'd like to eventually get to. Try to dance one more time, try to get the free heal. There we go. Or do that too is fine. I don't think there's any enemies that absorb water damage in the play combat. Which I don't know what governs Mog's ability to dance. Mog just learned Raise, he's probably done with whatever Esper he has. Bismarck. Yeah. So, if he's done, what else could he possibly probably been doing? Yeah, let's go with Meduin. And let's give that one some heals. What do you got? She only has that right now to get more experience, more hit points because she's using the ultimate weapon. This one would give her Raise though. Anyone else have Raise? That's our only path to Raise. I'd like everybody to have, so she can do that. Give her some more strength. Physical attacks. Ooh, that's not good. Hold on, this one's sitting like that. Hey Psych, thanks for the follow. Good to have you. Shit, Locke has basically everything. Let's see if we can finish getting him death. He was pretty close to it. You... Lisa, twist. Oh, that sucks. Here, let me type something in chat. So if any of you ever have stream issues, the biggest problem is you can't change your bitrate if you're not partnered. There's a lot of people who just have internet issues, or usually throttling is what will cause it. You can use this app called Tards Play. It's trusted. I vetted it before I put it into my profile. Basically, like, you use that to just review the stream, and then you can chat separately with the stream paused on Twitch proper. You get Magic Raccoon. Is that gonna kill Mog? No, I think it just is or something. More time. El Nino. of those is going forward and one of them is getting like a treasure chest. Clearly I want the treasure chest first, so. If you end up giving Tard's Play a try, let me know if it works or helps at all. I've got a couple people who are using it. Since I can't mess with the bitrate, unfortunately. Fall on your face, buddy. Alright, so Locke just learned Death. We can sub out what his Esper is right now. I don't think he's ever gonna cast Death. How about this one? Let me go back up real quick, just check. There's not like an item over here, so... Was an item, I haven't checked. Monster in the box. Let's see, we only have one for the shuriken, so we'll just throw out the shuriken, see how much damage it does. Pretty good damage though. Counterattacks. This is deal. She doesn't have Cura yet. Hopefully Mog's gonna do a healing thing. Or the Shuriken will just kill him. Wow. And Shurikens are better than I remember. Sasuke. Is that a weapon maybe? Aha. Pachu Balloon. Did a pretty good upgrade. Have Mog be my main out-of-combat healer. The thought is that he can use Dance in combat in lieu of his MP, so we may as well use his MP for something. Some of the only ones depicts Behemoth as standing on 2 feet. Let's jump on. Army sandals, nice. Get one of those to Shadow, actually. Nice. Hog still in midair. I believe there's another save point on our way out of here, so. Dragon has a lot of hit points. Silence. Was it silent earlier on Twitch proper? Or is that just through Tard's Play that that's happening? Hey Sanguine, how's it going, man? good to see you as always. Really? Doing all right. Can you guys hear the game volume? If not, I might need to restart the game so you can hear it. Hopefully you can hear the game and not just me talking. Oh, maybe that was it. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Hey, as soon as Scarlet. Hey, Sanguine again. And Leon. Nice. We're on the floating continents, conjured up by Emperor Geshtal and Kefka. We know that they're doing something with these ancient gods called the Warring Triad. They're like the source of all magic on the planet. We don't know what their plan is yet. Oh right, I turned it up for the opera scene and never turned it back down. That might be a little bit better. Okay. I just tweaked the volume a little bit, let me know if that helps. Now, if they go invisible soon, we're gonna be in trouble. Okay, looks like. Well, thanks for the heads up, Leon. I set that a while ago and completely forgot about it. Alright, Shadow with Kira. It's easy to get disoriented here because it's a big map. There's a lot of random battles that kind of make you lose track of where you were going. Try to get another water rondo going. See, I was saying, what are we talking about? Painful RPG. That sounds awesome, first of all. Is it like a fan game? Is it like an indie game? Like what system is it for? I added it to my list on, I've got a Reddit post with a list of games that I'm gonna get to eventually. I need to do like a PC tryout stuff day, you know, a lot of PC game suggestions. And hard to get to all of them, but it might be nice to like do that on a Wednesday's usually a free play day, so like every 15 minutes try out a different game real quick. Oh, 3 confuse. I don't have Strago to pick that up. It's okay. Yeah, I gotta do Kerbal Space Program. Psych, I trust you from the way you worded that, because I certainly know what it means to say it's an RPG Maker game, but it doesn't feel like an RPG Maker game, don't worry. That probably is very good then. Cool. Psych, have you played Charles Barkley's Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, Chapter 1 of the Hoops Barkley saga? It's also a very, very good rooted in RPG Maker game. It's like a parody of JRPGs that I'm going to be doing on stream eventually. I gotta wait till I have a little bit of a bigger following before I play that game, because no one's just going to walk in and discover that one. I keep talking about this Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam RPG. It's so good. Takes place in a universe in which the events of the movie Space Jam are canon. They are, Leon. I'm one of the funders. I forget what the full name of the game is. It's pretty ridiculous. It's like... yeah, the Magical Realms of Tir na Nog, Escape from Necron 7, Revenge of Cuchulainn, the game, the movie, Chapter 2 of the Hoops Barkley saga. Hey, Rokami, how's it going? Yeah, Chapter 2 looks like it's going to be an action RPG, and it won't be RPG Maker. They like made their own engine and stuff. So I'm pretty excited to see what they do with it. So crack up. The Revenge of Cuchulainn. Like, what the fuck? This is supposed to be about Charles Barkley. Yeah. Their Kickstarter video is pretty great because they're they always put up the guise of being completely sincere about the whole thing. Drunken Paladin is also a JRPG parody? Cool. You should check out, you should at least play like the first 15 minutes of Barkley Shut Up and Jam. It's a very funny game. It's actually a really good game too, like it's not just that it's funny. The combat system is not RPG Maker, or they found some way to hack it in. It's like Super Mario RPG, so it has timed attacks. And each character's attack has a different timing mechanic to it. It's really cool. Oh man, I'm sold, Psych. Groovy soundtrack is like a necessity if you're making an Earthbound style game. My airship. It's a ways back there. Sweet man, I got it on the list. Yeah, go for it, please do. I love game soundtracks. I'll listen to it after stream day. Got it. Let me open that here. Oh, I like the art style from the title there. How long would you say it is, Psych? Are we talking like, I guess tiers, is it less than 30 hours? More than 30 hours? I think this is progressing the plot this way. 100% sure. Oh, not really, it's a shortcut. You can leave and go back to the ship, but you need to have Shadow with you when you come back. Oh, right on. Okay, then I might play that sooner rather than later. I've been looking for shorter games. A lot of the games on the list have been very, very long, especially Final Fantasy Tactics has exceeded like 32 hours so far with a pretty efficient playthrough. Part of that is that like if you die in Final Fantasy Tactics, it sets you back like 30 minutes to an hour. The battles are really long. But that's the kind of thing that I could beat in like a week of free play. Maybe I'll check that out and sub it in after we beat Final Fantasy VI as our current free play game. I'll look into it. What's the, and I guess it's hard to ask this question, what's the critical reception on it? Like, is this a lauded game? Mixed reviews kind of thing? Sneeze me out of battle, bro. Damn it, Mog. Damn it, Bobby. Awesome. Oh wow. Got sneezed out of battle. Gross. Interesting. Oh. Oh, okay, the guy who was complaining. I'm a professional games journalist. Can you do me a favor? Can you check in Twitch if you do browse games? Like, I see there's a game in Twitch called Lisa. It's just called Lisa, it doesn't have the subtitle. I want to make sure that it's the same game. Because if it's not in the Twitch directory, I might need to send Twitch an email and ask them to add it. This feels like progress right now, which is, I don't want to go forward. We'll see here in a second. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is forward. I should have gone in the other warp thingy. We'll go back. Hey, Lindsay, welcome. Let's see. These guys are nasty because of those. They do lots of damage. Oh shit. As I was saying. It'll have Shadow Kira. Hopefully before they get to use another scroll. Shit. Oh no. These guys are very dangerous for speedrunners apparently. At least you got one of them out. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't see Lisa the Painful RPG in the list, so I might need to just shoot them an email real quick. That's okay. Kill Shadow again. Cool. Pick everybody up with Phoenix Downs. I think we have a good number of those. Let's see. Actually, let's do Shadow. He's not using his MP for anything else. Just calls it Lisa. Okay, that's fine. I can do that then. If that's what people looking for Lisa are gonna see, then I can use that one. No problem. I thought I saw it. Let's see. Oh, for Setzer. Change the slot to Guild Toss. Got it. That's definitely been renamed from the Super Nintendo version. This is the GBA version we're playing now. Walk all the way back up. Getting a bunch of battles on the way, but that's okay. Actually, we have the Ward Bangle right now, which reduces random encounter rate, and we're still getting into quite a few of them. Yeah, so you can see how these ninjas could wipe a speedrun party very easily just on their first turn, if you're unlucky. Way to go, Mog. Ow. I should finish him off, I think. Yep. This is about the halfway point of the game. Ish, depending on how you choose to go about the ending. So I don't know if you remember, it's been a long time. There's two different world maps. Without spoiling anything. And we're getting very close to the second world map. Once you get to the second world map, it's extremely open-ended though. Like there's only one real task. You go from a very kind of on-rails game to the end of the game being very open-ended. You can try and go recruit all the characters again, or just move along and beat it. This is a great game though, I highly recommend it. When you finish watching Mother 3, you can go back and check some of these out, or even I'd recommend picking it up on an emulator. I think it's on mobile phones now, or when I say I think, I know I own it on mobile phones. It's a pretty decent port. Change the graphics a little bit. Music's the same though, that's what matters. Soundtrack is bumpin'. Damn it, Mog! Running back to the save point real quick. I used to do RPG Maker back in the day. It's hard to do it right. I recommend that everybody use RPG Maker, mess with it for a few hours though. It's really helpful to get a better intuition for how games work. Intuition and appreciation. See, a lot of people have like a why don't they just attitude about game development, like why don't they just do this? Like, well, that's great, but easier said than done, man. Alright. One of these, I think, is a save point. I'm back at the entrance now. That's okay. I'm gonna go back to the opening save point then. It's not super far. Just wanna get all my MP back. 2 behemoths. Shit. Take this one seriously. No, it's okay. Invisible makes it so we can't be hit by physical attacks. Yeah, I always make that problem when I'm doing like D&D games. I tend to build outside in, which is great, but then you spend so much time building outside, like you come up with the world that you want, you come up with your politics and geography and history and all this great stuff, but none of that is the actual game, right? So there's two approaches. You could go outside in, start with the world building, or you can go inside out, which is start with like some scenes and scenarios and let the world building come from there. I feel like the latter is a easier, more organic way to do things, but it's, if you don't think that way, like my brain doesn't work that way. I do build the world first and then make stories inside of it. Oh, do they keep their vanish status? Holy shit, I didn't know that. That's pretty rad. I don't think there's any reason we wouldn't want to be vanished. I think the only thing that makes it go away is magic damage. I'm not sure if that might be in reaction to an attack command. It's like, if you played a tabletop RPG before, like Dungeons and Dragons, that kind of thing. Cool. Let's go back for real this time. Not let these ninjas kill us. Hey FLG, how's it going? You might enjoy fleshing out your story and getting like the scenarios down by playing it as a D&D game. At least I think D&D is a little bit less intimidating than RPG Maker, since you can hand wave stuff. Probably the biggest thing you have to do if you're gonna finish a story in RPG Maker is to actually sit down and start doing some of the scenarios. Like, you can start from the beginning if that's the most interesting part. And as you go along, like, oh man, I really wanted to do this. I want to have a cutscene where it like pans down and shows the character. There's so much detail about RPG Maker now since it's been out since 1995. You can probably either post in forums or get some help with whatever it is you want to do if you can't find it on your own, or just Google the question. But that requires like actually forcing yourself to get into the weeds and ask each question as it comes up. Like, what do I want to do with this specific battle? What do I want to do in this specific town? Hey, FLG. Oh god, yeah, there were a couple spoilers in chat. What one, can you hint to me what it was? Was it related to Klaus? Because somebody did spoil something pretty important related to Klaus that I think I probably would have figured out pretty quickly anyway. I let it go, I didn't say anything at the time. Yes, sir. Got ultimate weapon fight on. I think there's a save right before him. I remember, he's pretty tough. Indeed, gaming with Mist. When's the last time you played this game, Mist? This way. Yeah, same here. Phantom. Let's do a Phantom and then try to kill these guys first, because I think the Behemoth is all physical attacks. A couple years for your Jezebel. Yep. Yep. Nope, I know exactly the part you're talking about. And it did spoil it for me. Because right. I think I would have figured it out as soon as we saw that character later on. I just didn't give him shit for it. Blind playthroughs are tough. I really enjoy doing them, and I love watching them. Like, I'm gonna talk when I start Mass Effect at 4 o'clock. I love that game so much, and specifically, I love the first playthrough experience of it when you don't know what's going to happen. So you'll see, I'll show off my save files in that game. I've got save files for like all my friends and like my wife, who I had also play the game. Be a creepy Mass Effect voyeur to experience the story. Yeah, Felix. How's it going, man? This is a pretty important part of the game, the floating continent. Shit's about to get real. Tits and Grits, my friend, it's been a while. Hey, thanks for the host, Felix, appreciate it. Alright, we didn't go through this one last time, so we're just gonna go check real quick. Oh, is this just my way to get back to the airship? Yeah, that's all that is. Right, got me. Oh, really? Alex, I just started playing Final Fantasy XIV. I'm really enjoying it so far with some friends. What server are you guys on? I've noticed you play it sometimes. No problem. This is the Game Boy Advance version. I'm playing it because I've never played it before. I wanted to see what the translation is like, how it's different. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, in retrospect, like, I feel like I could have deduced it, but that certainly gave me no doubt. And the rest of the game, it was like, oh, okay, I know who that is. Okay, I know who that is. Deus, right on. We're on Ultros. Had a lot of fun with it so far. Yeah, Kami, Vanish Doom. I don't think that's been fixed in the GBA version, or any of the other major bugs for that matter. Yeah, so to that end, Tits and Grits, I actually have... This is not as bad as it could be. This is a hack somebody made for the GBA version to try to restore the music to the original SNES sound. So it's not perfect, like you can hear there's a little bit of hissing on the snares in this song. But it's much better than the actual original audio. I also have a hack that restores the color palette, because the GBA had a super dark screen. Remember that GBA was before backlit screens. They had to account for that by oversaturating the color palette in the game. So if you play it on an emulator, it's super saturated and way too colorful for what FF6 is supposed to look like. So I do have two hacks running on it in order to make the GBA version tolerable. It fix the music and fix the color. Oh, Felix, don't say that to me, bro. Me and Haypax and Matt are the two guys I'm playing 11 with. We're running around, and some dude just runs past us in Magitek armor, and like it was unreal. I was like, no, you can't do that to me. I have a life. I have a wife. We have aspirations of doing something other than me playing Final Fantasy XIV every day, all day. Can't put a floating continent in there. That's great from their perspective, though. Like, it's hard from a design perspective to figure out what you want to do for raids and how you want to structure your content. And let's just crib from all the old Final Fantasies. We have all this area. Like, that's what I want out of a Final Fantasy MMO anyway. Yeah, Tits and Grits. ASL Hate, how's it going? I heard that about Terra's theme on the Magitek armor. No! Taking me away from my life. Okay, good. Psych, thanks. I've actually had some cognitive dissonance about that ever since Mother Earth 3. Like, would I have really figured that out if it wasn't for that spoiler? But, looks like you were just watching it, so you have it fresh in your memory that I caught it beforehand. Yeah, Tits and Grits, the current incarnation of Final Fantasy XIV is very, very different. Realm Reborn they heard the criticism. The criticism was so bad, I was worried that it was going to crash Square Enix at the time. Because like they were apologizing for the game constantly. They were saying they weren't going to charge any money for people to play it. But then when they did the relaunch, they fixed a lot of things. Like they brought back the classic classes, Black Mage, White Mage, Summoner, Warrior, Thief, all that fun stuff. I think Ninja actually rather than Thief, but it is greatly improved. I'm glad they relaunched it too. They needed to clear out the bad reviews, I think. I stayed away from it from the beta. I was just reading about it in the distance and like how bad it was. Yeah, Tits and Grits, if you want to see what the new player experience is like, you can check on my YouTube channel, link there at the bottom. I have recent VODs of me creating a new character, playing the game with my buddies for a couple hours. You can kind of see like what character creation looks like, that fun stuff. Oh, lame, psych. And there's no way for you to say this is an anti-spoiler, because that confirms. I'll recruit people for Final Fantasy 14. I've enjoyed it so far. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I was pretty deep in WoW for about an expansion and a half. I love the job system in both 11 and 14 though, that's what keeps me really excited. I like that I can just invest in one character and not feel like I'm losing something when I switch. Wait, 14 has triple triad? Is that when you go to Gold Saucer? I feel like they were like, how do we make this game not suck anymore? It's like, why don't we put in a lot of Final Fantasy stuff? Why don't we just like make it a fan service MMO? Oh, that's rad. Yeah, I saw people walking around with little Warrior of Light pets. So I'm still on the free trial right now. What's the deal with the subscription? Like, I think WoW has some mechanic where you can convert currency to game time. Is it just the flat subscription amount? There's no other way to get game time other than that? Which is fine. I'm happy to give them money. When I played Guild Wars 2, I made a habit of spending about $10 on the shop every month because I enjoyed the product and want them to make more of it. Only a sub, right on. I wouldn't be shocked if it goes free to play. Like, they have enough opportunity for like purchasable cosmetics that I would certainly spend $10 a month or more on it. Oh, they give you rewards in addition to that. That's interesting. Maybe they're trying to establish a sub-reward system before they remove subbing as a requirement. I just assume that that's like going to happen regardless. What did I just get? Hooray. Was it ladies only? Oh, realm only. Priest is a successor to Sketch. Never sell that. I forget what that was called in the original. Really? Huh, I just assumed that was a natural path for all MMOs except for WoW that they eventually go free to play. That's interesting. Hey D-Rock! Yep, Ultimate Weapon's coming up real soon. Let me actually use a tent before I do that. That sounds pretty great. Alright, let's go. So I'll go to the lobby. I misread that as it dropped by 7 million. I was like, holy crap, what the hell happened in WoW? I think that's the one we want to take. Yeah, let's take it. Alright. No. That's pretty shocking. When's the last time they collected data on that, do you know? What are the default options now? Yeah, go for it. I'll take a look at it. Thank you for asking. Oh wow, that's a huge drop. So December was the Warlords expansion release. I feel like WoW has the potential to be a better game if they would just like make a new game, make a new MMO. Because they've been making incremental, really nice improvements on it, but they've been like, they have this castle of sand that they're building on top of. They should just knock the whole thing down and start over, I think. Like, 14 works better than 11 because it is 14 and not 11. 11 was a really good game, but it had a lot of problems, and 14 fixes a lot of those problems. Yeah. I think you got it right, Tits and Grits. Like, a lot of the changes that WoW has made recently, as someone who's been following it from a distance, it's like reading the patch notes for an MMO you don't play anymore is like reading the newspaper for a city that you used to live in. I'm happy with like the looking for raid system. I think that's a good solution to a nasty problem. Alright, so this is the save point. That's the ship. Somewhere else we need to go. Not this way. I think we gotta go left up here. That was Project Titan, right? Tits and Grits? Sounds familiar. Here's a question. Does anyone know what drives Mog's dance success rate? Because he seems to fail pretty frequently. I don't know if it's just based on his level or if there's some like obscure status element. Nice, Kami. I might need to get on the subscribe bandwagon real quick. Yeah, I hear you, Psych. I think that's a double-edged sword, unfortunately. Like, when you have content that demands active cooperation, there's automatically an extreme stress element that's included in that. So I think it's a slider, not a switch. You have to find a happy balance where maybe have two modes, where you have a difficulty level that requires no coordination, no communication, you know, that everybody can do, and then have the hard mode version that everyone can't do, where you have to have people in TeamSpeak, so people who want that kind of content can get it. I think the problem is that, like, people feel like, oh, someone else is getting this experience on the cheap compared to me. I'm having to do it the hard way, and I'm not getting anything good for it, nothing to show for it. In a lot of people's cases, they just want to experience the content. They don't want to, you know, knock their heads against a brick wall for 15 hours or 30 hours or however much time it takes to clear a difficult raid. They just want to see who the bosses are, what their general mechanics are, you know, get the general idea. Whereas people like us, in many cases, want to knock our heads against a brick wall for 20 hours because it makes the payoff that much more weighty at the end. Yeah, Tiz and Grits make kind of the same point. Looks like they actually fixed blind because lock was missing for the first time I've ever seen. Right, Leon. It's great if you know everybody. One way to think about it. I just kind of cheesed the removal of the blind status there. I just equipped a relic that gets rid of blind and then unequipped it, instead of having to use an eye drops or a remedy or something. I think this is the way I want to go. Hold on, guys. I gotta find the... If you know where I'm supposed to go and you're like, oh my god, I've played this game so many times, but I don't remember the switch I have to press here. Kami, I think that's probably the way to do it. That's the most elegant solution, I think. And they could even just make the story mode single player if they really wanted to. Thanks, D-Rock. Shit, Tits and Grits, that's saying a lot. I remember Vanilla Nax. It's like over here, right? There's like a switch I can press. Thought so. Oh, okay. One of those. Okay, here we go. Like, I thought it was right by the airship, but thanks, D-Rock, you saved me about 20 minutes of running around in circles. You're on care duty, Shadow. We're good for this fight. Do not bleed, but I am given strength, given form. Love this music. Fierce battle. Psych, have you played, Guild Wars 2? Yeah, so this is some music hacker's best attempt at salvaging a fierce battle, and it's pretty good. All I can do with the GBA, I guess. Is Mythic really just tuning the numbers? There's not a lot of new mechanics. I might not be able to dance in this fight. I should just have Mog jump, I think. Or GBA trying to handle that flare spell effect. Might give Guild Wars 2 a try. I'll probably play it a little bit when the, oh shit, hold on. That's okay. Did less damage than I was expecting. Probably play it a little bit again when the patch comes out. Expansion. The reason I recommend Guild Wars 2 is it's tried to say, what are the problems with MMOs and how can we fix them? And you see that a lot of MMOs since Guild Wars 2 have been started picking up on those lessons, like MMO 2.0, in a way that's pretty exciting. Like one of my favorite things that Guild Wars 2 addressed for the first time is you have this problem in old school WoW where like you dread seeing another player, right? That's never a good thing. If you're doing content and you're trying to farm a specific boss, you get a specific drop, or you're looking for resource nodes to mine in the world, somebody else shows up, you're like, oh shit, there's somebody else. Like, why would you feel that way in an online game? You should be delighted to see other players. So Guild Wars 2 addresses that problem in a lot of ways, and games since then are now addressing that. Like Final Fantasy XIV fixes that. And PvP is a good place to go if you want endgame challenge. Guild Wars 2 is another one that's good for that with World versus World, which is an exercise in like managing hive mentality and hive mind. You can't really command a group of 50 people, which is what groups tend to look like in World versus World. It's like this big cross-server PvP competition, basically. But you can generally expect how they're going to behave, and you can achieve objectives doing that. It's kind of cool. I should stop dancing with him. I don't think you can. Let's try a raise here. Does she have Cura yet? She does not. That's a shitload of attempts, Tits and Grits, you're not kidding. Ah! Oh shit, D-Rock, did that go on sale already? Fortunately, I was already covered. I'm gonna be going, Haypax happens to have tickets from other means. I didn't turn on all my Twitter announcements. I usually have set up. That's how I got in last year. Later, Shadow. So you go. I'll go back and save real quick. Why not? Yeah, Phalix, I hear that. I mean, they've done some hard content. Like, did you ever do Tequatl? Tequatl eventually became on farm once the community understood the fight. Or did you do the marionette fight? They haven't designed small, like, 5-man difficult content. They just do this open world stuff that is mostly hard because it's very difficult to get a bunch of, you know, scrubs hanging out on the map to do what they're supposed to do. Oh right, who is their dungeon guy? Honda? What's his name? Head Honda? He was a really good guy. He had really good ideas, and I think they tanked him. They also, I don't know if they tanked him, but I think they silenced Josh Foreman, one of the lead devs, the guy who does Super Adventure Box, because he would talk with the community too much. It's a shame because Guild Wars 2 has the potential to be a really great hard content source. We'll see what happens with the expansion. I'll check it out. I haven't played it in 6 months or so. I put a similar number of hours into it, Felix. It's just been a long time. I know, right? Super Adventure Box, and specifically Tribulation Mode, was my favorite thing. Oh, where are you going, Psych? What concert? What band? Yeah, I hear that, Felix. I think I'm still sitting on some of my stuff. I haven't given any of that away yet, but I'll check it out again. Hey, Mine for Fish, how's it going? Cool. No, that's cool too. Shit. Alarm here. That makes it so you can't get... So I love that there's a raccoon that heals you, and I was talking about, man, the raccoon's awesome, like, Ultima style attack is really cool looking. But why do you get it from the underwater rondo? Is it an aquatic raccoon? I believe whenever you hit a save point, it resets those. She's close to Kira. Not quite, though. This is a small world, Kami. Phalix is, among many other things, an Earthbound speedrunner. Did you finish your 100% playthrough? You should shoot him a follow. He's a cool dude. Oh shit! Both at the game and the surprise small world event in chat. Nice. That's like 100, we may as well call it like a 200% run. It's not like the Japanese speedrunning community's definition, but like get every single weapon, all the rages. Gross. No, I'm not gonna bang Kefka for life. Alright, so like the iconic scene of Final Fantasy VI, other than the Opera House one, is coming up in the next 20 minutes or so. So if you haven't seen Final Fantasy VI before, we've got a couple people in chat who haven't. This is super important. Emperor Geshtal is like the main bad guy. He's been causing all of this drama for us. Kefka is like one of his underlings. He's like the recurring joke villain that we run into a lot. He's been, he's done some seriously evil stuff. Like he poisoned an entire city. That was pretty evil of him. But he's just kind of like a crazy clown magician man. Remember, Emperor Geshtal is trying to use the powers of this warring triad. They're like the three ancient gods of magic that are encased in stone. Foxlisk. Yeah, no problem, Psych. I'm glad to hear that it's working. You guys can, if you also stream, pass this along. It's called Tard's Play. It's a tool that lets you watch somebody else's stream and set the quality settings yourself without needing them to have partner-level transcode options. So he was getting latency and lag earlier. He was able to use Tard's Play, and he's able to watch it now without any trouble. Oh, sorry, Foxlisk. Go back to lurking if you so choose. No, my chatty thing lets you know, because Twitch chat is just an IRC client, so it pops up with people joining or partying. So Kefka's doing something that Geshtal disagrees with. Geshtal wants to control the magic of the Warring Triad. Kefka just wants to use it. Cool, very good, Fox. I'll leave you to it. Yep, no worries. Enjoy. Thanks for stopping by and watching. This is a great game, and it's a really important point in the game, too. Firaga. Interesting. There's a new portrait for Geshtal, Bannon, and Kefka, Mind for Fish. Remember, Geshtal is the main bad guy. Anyone playing this game for the first time assumes that he's the real threat and Kefka's like a joke. Where are you aiming? Run, run, or you'll be well done! He's crazy. And so ends Emperor Geshtal. And we see who the real villain in this game is. What? No, you're not supposed to move them. So they're called the Warring Triad because them being encased in stone and battling keeps their magic from going crazy. And he's moving them in whatever order he wants. Mine for fish. Yeah, he's fine. He's back on the ground. No big deal. Alright, so this is the part where you have to wait for Shadow here. If you don't wait for Shadow, you can never get him back in your party. I didn't know this as a kid because I had this before the internet, right? You couldn't just go to game FAQs and look it up. So like, I spent hundreds of hours at the end game flying around the world trying to find how do I recruit Shadow, not knowing that this is what I had to do. There's a timer in the bottom right corner. We have to wait until it comes back. Yeah, Foxlisk, I hear ya. You're like, is that the end of the game? This game is so good. I should probably take off her ice weapon. I think Frozen can be removed. Yeah. Right, I hear you. Yeah, let's swap this for Flint. Yeah, I agree, Mine for Fish. There's a lot of good contenders. I like pretty much all the Final Fantasies from 1 through 10, with one exception. But this is by far my favorite. I think it's Sakaguchi's favorite too. His panel at PAX, he said he really liked this one, and then 9 was his favorite one to make. Yes, it's 8. I'm gonna play through 8. I've given it a couple tries. 7's a really good game. It's okay, Mind for Fish. We can still be friends. You may have seen my nephew Jaden, he's like 11. He's in chat every now and then. And someone was talking about, what was it? We were talking about Metroid Other M is a garbage game. And he was getting really offended. I'm like, man, you know, part of growing up is just accepting that sometimes people like things that you don't like, and sometimes you like things other people don't like, and that's okay. People can have their opinions. No, Foxlisk, that's exactly the same point where I couldn't take 8 anymore. The orphan twist, you're like, really? 4 is a really good game, D-Rock. I love that game. I mean, 4 gets a little silly when you get to the moon, but it's still cool. I still enjoy it. And Cecil's pretty great, yeah. Every kid remembers their Dark Knight into Paladin experience. Hey, thanks for the follow, Foxless. It's good to have you. Yeah, 4's story is very solid. It's very straightforward. Tactics has really good gameplay. It's fairly balanced so that it remains challenging until you get Sid. Oh, did I fuck that up? Maybe I could have come at it from the other way and gotten it. I don't remember. I don't know what's in there, so... Maybe it's not like a ribbon. Someone in chat's gonna say it was a ribbon. My issue with tactics is that there are too many abilities, and you're not... There's... The, opportunity cost is so high. You can only equip one ability in each slot, and there's so many cool abilities. Like, to some extent, I just wish they'd let you use all of them. Like, Sticky Fingers, the thing that lets you catch thrown items. That's a cool idea, but why would you ever use that, you know? Huh. That's awesome, Kami. You met your wife on Guild Wars 2? I know a couple that met in Final Fantasy 11. Oh shit, this one's Fire Elemental and I didn't change your weapon. I gotta do this quickly or they die. Okay, change it. Oh good. Never mind, it wasn't that big of a deal. Gotta wait for Shadow. See, it just says wait the first time. It doesn't say gotta wait for Shadow until then. See, what I think is interesting about Zerg vs. Zerg, I think it should be offered as an alternative to PvP and not a replacement for PvP, which it is in Guild Wars 2. But it's interesting that you can, like, if you're commanding a Zerg, you have to consider the hive mind. You can't, like, expect that all 40 people are actually going to listen to your individual instructions. So you have to change your playstyle to lead a huge group of people who are mostly unpredictable. I think that's really cool to explore. I think Kami's got you covered, D-Rock, but yeah, Zerg is... In StarCraft, you'd send your... the Zerg was a race. You'd send a huge group of your creatures to overwhelm something. So Zerg has come to mean in MMOs any very large group of players. Oh man, jumping puzzles were my jam. Well, that would make sense, Felix. You and I are both fans of Super Adventure Box. You should play through Guild Wars 2 at least once just to do all the jumping puzzles. Like, find them organically and do them. It's really fun. I didn't know that, Psych. I'm waiting for the timer to run out so we don't lose Shadow. Education. It's 5 seconds, I think, right? Alright. After the Opera House, most important scene in Final Fantasy VI coming up here. Thank you for clarifying. I would have repeated that trivia fact. Did you know that Zerg is also... I trusted you. Get it, Setzer. Oh shit! Our airship! Everybody! Yeah, I heard about that, psych. Right, Mind for Fish, you're like, and then the world ends, the bad guy wins, and how do we deal with that? Right? This game is great. Yeah, no, I heard that extremophiles, they're called, that can survive in those kinds of conditions. It's interesting because it expands our expectation of what a habitable planet might be. It might not require all the things we think it requires. Talk about that a little bit when we play Mass Effect later today. Super stoked for that. Got a list of everything that chat can vote on. Most of that will be at the beginning of the game. D-Rock makes a good point. I guess the world's also destroyed in Chrono Trigger, but you stop it. This one, the world's destroyed. You don't have a time machine. You're not fixing it. It's done. Why don't we do a stream vote right now, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. One sec. Be a good test for when we do Mass Effect here soon. Doing Mass Effect 1 later today. One of my favorite game series. Will be starting it from scratch. We're going to play through all of them with leaving some of the big decisions up to stream. Shit, okay. I think that makes that one easy. So the vote I'm doing here, Sid is sick and old, and I didn't know this as a child after like 15 playthroughs or something, but you can save him by catching fish for him. You have to catch him the fastest possible fish, which are the high quality ones, and he can recover. If you don't do that, he dies, and Celis has this really dramatic scene where she like jumps off a cliff attempting to commit suicide, but she survives. So you could say, let Sid die because it has this really dramatic scene as a result, or you can save him, which is like subverting the sadness of the false ending here. Mind for Fish, that's not a big spoiler for 5. Yeah, Safe Sid wins by a landslide, holy shit. No kidding. I'll say that what D-Rock said is not going to happen the way you think it does, so. It's not anywhere near analogous to what happens in Final Fantasy VI. Oh. Screw you, Mind for Fish. Cat hype. Hey Ben, can I help you, buddy? I see Sid has this rocket new portrait with a mustache, and it looks like it's more of a hood than a body condom. Yeah, if you haven't seen Final Fantasy VI before, I highly recommend you Google the Celis cliff scene. You can see it on YouTube. Like, cause this really sucks, right? As far as we know, everybody's dead. Celis is the only one who's left alive. The world has been destroyed. This could be the only island that's above water in the universe, you know? And then Sid dies and she has nobody left and she jumps off the cliff and she even fails to kill herself. But through overwhelming voting of the stream, we're gonna save Sid. Remember, if you thought Terra was the main character, you're wrong. Where's Terra? Not here. Celis isn't really the main character either. This is one of the only RPGs or video games I've ever played that truly has an ensemble cast. There is no main character, and that's what makes it great. Yeah, I agree, Fox. Oh, for sure, mine for fish. It's easy to mess up. You can be unlucky with the fish you get too. Let me save real quick before I do this. May as well keep a World of Balance save just for fun. Don't think that one. That might be just like cause this condition to persist. We want to find the fast fish. That's the only one for now. Let me see if I can get a sense of how good that one is in comparison. Oh, it's a bad one. Alright, well, it's okay. We'll give him one bad one. That won't kill him. Okay, that's a good fish right there. For sure. Delicious fish, that's what we want. You can see his condition if he's already in bed. Okay. Oh, that's coal mine for fish. Yeah, you've talked about that before. I want to check it out. Oh, interesting. By having it be ensemble, I can accept that. Actually, D-Rock, Psych was just talking about that earlier. June, I think? Oh shit, how do I get the fish to respawn? Do I have to go, like, get into a battle or something? That's a kinder way to describe it, Psychdalian. I've always thought it was a body condom that he was in. Just rejoin the screen, like, back and forth. Alright, everybody got unequipped. Switch this to Ice Brand. I don't know, man. It's not respawning. No. We saved outside, so it's not the end for oh, we might have to go talk to Sid every time. Yeah, so that's a better situation that he's in when he says that. When he says I'm not long for this world, he's closer to death. So I don't think we want that fish. That's a bad one. Maybe it's 2 screens, maybe we have to go in here. I don't know if we actually have to talk to him. No, that's the same fish. I guess while I'm doing this, let me throw on the sprint shoes, which are like you have automatic sprint shoes in this game in the GBA port. Then the sprint shoes just make you even faster. See, you just zip across the screen. You move so fast that the game doesn't have time to show both steps of the walking animations. It looks like you're just gliding like Magus. I think you have to talk to him. I think that's part of how you can get screwed, because there's the good one won't spawn. It's actually so fast that I can't use it in most of the game because it's too hard to control. There's a fast one. Hey, so we're gonna save Sid, but he died anyway just because we didn't have any fish. So I'm gonna go ahead and show this cutscene, and then I'll reset and save him. Phalix wins. It's cool. We'll show it. She has one other person in the world. Yeah, no, I'll show the scene. Everybody gets sad. Phalix was like 1 against 7, and he won anyway. The game didn't want him to live. Oh shit, do I not remember this from when I played through it as a kid? It wasn't just Sid and Celis. There were other people on the island too. Holy shit. Wait, Phalix, can you explain that? Is it like opening menus matter too? What are the mechanics? Like what causes the fish to respawn and what causes him to progress? Really? Huh. Oh, there's 2 good fishes. I know there's the super fast one that's obvious. Rachel's theme. Letter must be from someone we know. Learning how to play acoustic guitar, this is a fun song for a beginner to learn. Ooh, Mine for Fish, that would be cool. So you don't know, you just assume that she's dead. Oh, that'd be really great. Or like, even better, if she jumped, and then you see the letter that shows that Locke's alive, that she missed. Like, if she had only read it, she wouldn't have jumped, kind of a thing. And then you have to come back to her way later. Oh, that would have been great. Rachel's theme is one of my favorite sad Final Fantasy songs. Like Eris's theme, and I would count People of the North Pole from 10 as a sad song. Alright, I'll go ahead and refresh. We'll try to save him now that I know the mechanics look better. Before I do it though, Phalix, what's the, what drives fish to spawn? Is it just talking to Sid, and you just want to talk to Sid as much as humanly possible? To keep respawning fish? Talking to Sid. Okay. I always worried that talking to Sid progressed him, but I guess it's only progressing him in the sense that time is wasting away when you speak to him. Alright, let's get on it then. Let's get the sprint shoes for sure since it's a real-time thing. I think I remember that being a bad fish. Nope. Yeah, what a great scene though, right? And we might have to give him this first fish. So we hadn't fed him yet. That's his I'm almost dead thing. Let me check this one real quick. Ordinary fish is good. As long as he's walking into bed, we're okay. That one's okay. I think that's another ordinary fish. You really don't want the super slow one, though. Yeah. Alright, I have my intuition for which one's ordinary and which one's delicious. Because I don't accidentally give him one that kills him. I'm guessing the ordinary fish just kind of like sustains thing until he can find the fast one. The delicious fish actually increases his value. Okay, we've moved him up a step. He's less likely to die now. Come on, come here. Can't get further into the water. There we go. At least it's set up that, like, no one playing this for the first time would save Sid, right? They would experience the way it's supposed to be done, which is being sad that Sid died. Yeah, right. Shoes are redonkadonk fast. Can't seem to shake this thing. Getting there. Because then he lives on the island alone forever. Poor condom man. I think about it that way. Maybe he has a happy ending. Well. Yeah, no, it's like when I was doing Bioshock Infinite, there was a part where I could spare somebody who would clearly have a horrible life if I spared him. I was like, no, I'm gonna do the raw Paragon thing and spare him. Bright Mine for Fish? Oh, this game. It's the best around. So, there we go. Yeah, Zidane has a part that's complete despair. Also one of the coolest songs in that game, You're Not Alone. I love that song. It's got that, like, Pink Floyd weeping guitar. Come on, healthy fish. Alright. Horrible end-of-life experience for Sid. I'm glad you guys got to see the cliff scene, though. I didn't finish 13. I'll probably do it on stream eventually. I just couldn't get into it. That's the only Final Fantasy I haven't played. I played like maybe 5-10 hours into it. Really? That is high praise, Felix. I mean, it's amazing because the song kicks ass. I like the scene too, it's cool. Bringing in all the characters again. Yeah, see how it was not the big character development part here. Later, Foxlisk. Thanks again for following. See you next time. I need to give 13 another try. I had another game I was playing at the same time. I didn't play it in a vacuum. I didn't play past the, what is it, the 20-hour tutorial that people give shit on it for. Yeah, I didn't like that the first few maps you saw, like, the map was just a vertical line, but maybe the key is like with Chrono Cross. Like, don't go into it expecting that it's going to be a worthy sequel to Chrono Trigger and you'll enjoy Chrono Cross. But if you're expecting to get Chrono Trigger again, it's too different. Really? 13-2, huh. Soundtrack comes up on Rainwave every now and then. It sounds like a sweet soundtrack. Even without my dude, Uematsu. Oh shit, she has nothing equipped. She's gonna die. I'm glad I saved. Run away! Run away! Oh my god. No. Whew. Yeah, the 9-chapter tutorial. That's actually kind of a problem with Final Fantasy XIV. Like, I get content gating and trying not to overwhelm the player, but it's a little absurd, like the stuff you don't have access to right away in FF14. Like, you don't have a bank. You have to get to like level 20 or something to get a bank. I think it's just a policy on their end that Blizzard does content gating and conveyance and slow introduction to mechanics well. I don't think Square Enix has figured out the best way to do it yet. I'll be trying it again. I own it. Kefka's practically a god now, sitting up in that tower of his with the power of the Whirring Triad at his command. Remember, this is like a year later. The world's been destroyed for a long time. Celes was in a coma. The world sucks now. Who's the voice actor? I feel that way about the guy who voiced Auron in Final Fantasy X. It actually made me really disappointed that they didn't get him back for Kingdom Hearts 2. Flashback. This is back in the world of balance. Oh, interesting. I still need to, well, man, I don't know. So we're gonna do Final Fantasy IV on stream. I feel like I should do the new 3D version that's got voice acting, but like, my nostalgia is with the SNES sprite version, so that's tough. I guess I could do both. I mean, it's a game that warrants more than one playthrough. I've heard good things about Nier. Never played it. Oops. Dude has better stock now, which is great. Many ancient monsters that had long been sealed away were released when the world was ripped apart. Humbaba, Death Gaze, and the 8 legendary dragons. Kefka's sitting up in this big tower and zapping people and destroying them. Ultimate weapons. What we have. I'm okay with that. That's a good point. Hey Zelda, Link to the Past, how's it going? Welcome. Yeah, BT Dubs, Legendary Dragons. This game's not too bad with that. Like, I'm willing to buy that. Okay, something really cataclysmic happened. Maybe there were some dragons sleeping inside the earth. Alright. It's not like BT Dubs cat people. Everybody's just cool with this. There's at least been some big event that might cause things to change. Kefka's Tower, which we cannot enter. I believe Kefka's Tower is made up a lot of like vector. It uses a lot of the same sprites. So one that's very BT Dubs in Chrono Cross is, oh, BT Dubs, there are 2 moons. Yeah, I think Balthazar actually has a little hang a lampshade on it reference, like, oh yeah, after this thing happened, there was a second moon and it was actually invisible. I'm like, dude, no. Just no. Hey AMA, how's it going? Awesome, Psych. Yeah, help me spread the good word of it until I get an actual quality switch. People are having trouble seeing unpartnered streams. Check out this Tards Play It tool that Psych's talking about. Lets you change the bitrate. Oh, right on. By whom? AMA is my wife. You just missed Kefka destroying the world. Celis is all by herself. I used to tell Final Fantasy VI to my wife as a bedtime story when she couldn't sleep. Among other games, like I've done 7, Chrono Trigger, Earthbound. She never remembered the names, or she'd intentionally butcher them, so she heard General Celeste and decided her name was General So. Like the Chinese food dish. Yeah, that came up during Conker's Bad Fur Day yesterday. That sounds awesome. Okay, on it. Later, Phalix. Thanks again for hopping in, hosting. Appreciate it. Loot the house before we save the person, of course. I pronounced it Seals as a kid. It was pretty bad. Until I didn't realize that it was the same root as, like, Celestial. So you have Terra for Earth and Celis for Heaven. Yeah, sounds good, Andrew. I'm down. Wondering if I should throw on the Ward Bangle, but I can't spare it. I need to be able to kill these things quickly. Is Sereth like what the romanization would be from the Japanese Zelda? I wondered if they would have named her Celeste, like with a T, in the English language version if they had had the character space for it. I'm surprised they didn't rename Sabin back to Mash. That's his name in the Japanese version. In this GBA port. Sabin's my dude. I know one person who pronounces it Sabin and one who says Sabin. Sabin's probably closer, but I've always said Sabin. Hyper Wrist. I think that's the last one. And now that I've thoroughly looted your collapsing house, go save your child. Sabin. I like these days of the games where you could debate over it without the voice acting to give it away. Although I still disagree with the actress who chooses to pronounce Titus in Kingdom Hearts. Do you have the Japanese copy, Zelda? Or are you from Japan? Yeah, I mentioned earlier I mispronounced Locke as Locky. I didn't know of like John Locke at the time. Someone finally said Locke, I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. Why would it be Locky? Oh, it sounds good. Works for me. I don't think we have anything else going on Saturday night. Super Patch, welcome. I am Saturday afternoon. I think we made everybody with a Wii U got an invite. Saturday from noon to 1 Pacific time, Splatoon is available for a trial, free trial. Some online play, so I'm going to be hopping on that and streaming that on Saturday if you guys wanted to check that out. Splatoon is the new rad IP from Nintendo. It's like a Team Ink shooter, where the goal of the game is to cover the opponent's map in your color of ink, but they also have like paint guns that can spray ink as well. You should check out some videos for it, it looks pretty sweet. Awesome, Zelda! That explains your pronunciation of Celis and Mash. Do you speak fluent Japanese? That would have been a good time to be in Japan. Another blood sword. I think we're gonna be okay on time to heal one more time after this fight here. Military bases? Or what brought you to Japan? Just ask. Figured out why these guys take damage. I'm wondering if it's like... They must have like a region status effect on them. I don't know if it's just an oversight that they're also undead. And region would make them take damage over time. Wow, that's awesome, Zelda. I'll switch to You can use a teleport stone to get out of here. I'll switch to the word bangle on the way out. It'll be quick though, because the timer keeps running in menus. God, I can't control it, it's so fast. Later, Psych. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'd love to learn Japanese as well. Should have been doing that before. Alright, should be okay to get out of here though. Phew! Got all the treasure chests. I love the Figaro theme. The song is called Edgar and Mash. Yeah, no kidding. It's faster than Sonic, I can't even control it. Yeah, what are some classics that weren't? Mother 3. Earthbound Zero, I guess, was actually localized, but it was never released in the US. People got a hand on the ROM and distributed it. Bahamut Lagoon, the early Fire Emblems. We still don't have Dragon Quest X, right? The MMO in the US. And it looks like there's no chance of us ever getting it. The Romancing Saga games, most of the Free Kingdoms games in general. Oh, those are actually better, aren't they? What's up, Ninja Moneybags? How's it going? Good to see you. Bought some stuff unnecessarily, but that's okay. Oh, you were telling me about Albert Odyssey, D-Rock. I didn't realize it was never an official translation. Yeah, no, the one I can think of that's has not been translated is Dragon Quest. Yep. Yeah, I was agreeing that it used to be that they weren't all localized, but the demand for RPGs has increased to the point where they generally are, with the exception of Dragon Quest X. Anything else recent that hasn't been? I think the only thing the US got as an RPG that never was released in Japan was Secret of Evermore. Yeah, same here. Fafnir. Oh, I should learn the blitzes again, shouldn't I? Actually, if he's just gonna blitz, there's no reason for him to dual wield. So let's do the word bangle. Blitz. All enemies. So that's up, up, right, right, down, down, left. Up, up, right, right, down, down, left, I think. We'll try it. Oh shit, I'm enjoying Final Fantasy VI so much. I ran over time. It's time to switch to Final Fantasy VII. Let me take care of that real quick. 1 sec. We'll continue with the World of Ruin tomorrow on FF6.